Right, I wanted to put a screencast together here just in advance of our topic test next week, just to clarify perhaps a few areas of concern that I think there might be, that might exist in the room. Okay, so I just want to go back to some of this stuff we were doing here the other day, and we sort of rushed it right at the end of the lesson because it was Friday afternoon and we all wanted to shoot off. But if I repeat this, I put this back out there. But I'll just concentrate on the algebra bits, x minus 2. So what we were doing was having a look at how this here gets simplified. And I said remove the smaller. So we've got x's here that need to be simplified. Look for the smaller index, in this case it's the minus 6, and then subtract the larger by it. It might be easier to think of it this way. Same kind of concept, but look at the two of them. We've got x to the minus 6, x to the minus 2. Which is the larger? Okay, in this case, minus 2 is the larger, and it's larger by 4. So I'm going to remove the minus 2 and put 4 down because it's larger by 4 than minus 6 and get rid of that. Just different way of looking at getting the same result. Minus 7 and minus 4. Well, minus 4 is 3 more than minus 7. So this way we get x to the 4 y cubed, just as we did on Friday. But perhaps if you were struggling to understand what that was about, then maybe that way of explaining it is a little easier for you. Just have a look at a straight up example. A to the power of 7 over a to the power of 4. There's no issue with this one because they're both positive, so I imagine all of you get a cubed. But if we think of it the same way, 7 is bigger than 4 by 3. So remove that and we get a cubed. If it's the other way around, and it's a smaller one on bottom, the larger one on the bottom, then 7 is larger than 4 by 3. Get rid of that, and we're left with 1 on top. So we end up with 1 over a cubed. So I think this may just help you understand what's going on with this. Let's just have a look at another one. Y to the minus 2 over y squared. This one is larger by 4. 2 is larger by 4 than minus 2. On what minus 2 goes, and 2 becomes 4. So that's just perhaps another way of looking at it. X to the power of minus 2 over x to the power of minus 5. Which one is larger? This one here is larger by 3. So we put the number here, the amount that it's larger by, and remove entirely the smaller. And so here in this case x cubed over 1. Maybe that helps. We have a chance to discuss this more on Monday. One other thing I just wanted to look at was simultaneous equations, and just have a look at two different types. So I'm going to put a couple down. I'm going to write x equals 2y plus 1. So what we're doing is solving simultaneously here, and then maybe 2x minus 3y equals minus 4. Okay, so just have a look at that one and then see how that differs from the one I'm putting down here. 3x plus y equals minus 3, and 2x minus 2y is equal to minus 10. Okay, so they look different. This one here is lined up, and when it's lined up like this, we've got our x's and our y's lined up in our numbers. All right, we can just work down and look to use the elimination method by getting one of our y or x coefficients to be the same, then subtract or add. Okay, that's what I think we should look to be doing there. With the one on the left, we have x as the subject of one of the equations. So if you have x or y as the subject of one of the equations, use the substitution method. I think that's the easiest. So here we'll use substitution because we have the x equals, and here we'll use elimination because it's all lined up in columns for us, the x's, the y's, and the numbers. Okay, so let's move on and do that then. Let's go ahead and solve. So by substitution, we would say that I'm going to put my 2y plus 1 in there. That's what substitution means. It's making a substitution. X equals 2y plus 1. So rather than writing x in my other equation, I'm going to write 2y plus 1. The benefit being 2 by 2y plus 1 minus 3y equals minus 4, you'll see here that we've just got an equation in y now that we can solve. So therefore 4y, we just go ahead and complete this. 4y minus 3y is y equals minus 4 minus 2, which is minus 6. Pause. So y equals minus 6, and then of course we need to find x. So x equals 2y, 2 times minus 6 plus 1, which is equal to minus 12 plus 1, which is minus 11. So x will equal minus 11. Make your solution really clear as well. Y equals minus 6. Okay, so that's using substitution, and just to reiterate that when you've got x or y as the subject of one of your equations, use substitution. When you've got columns like this, the elimination method is usually the easier of the methods. And I'm looking here at what to eliminate now. If I was going to do x's, I'd have to multiply both equations through by something, but I think I can multiply my top equation here by 2. I'll have 2y here, and then I'll be able to add the two equations together. So I'm going to rewrite this now as 6x plus, so that will be times 2. 6x plus 2y equals minus 6. The second equation I'm just going to write as is, so 2x minus 2y equals minus 10. And then I'm going to add them. I'm going to add the equations together. 6x plus 2x is 8x. I'm adding because of this. Let me be clear here, I'm adding because I've got plus 2 and minus 2. The signs are opposite of the y's, and when I add those two together, I'm going to get 0y, which eliminates my y. Hence the elimination method. Minus 6 minus 10 is minus 16, so x equals minus 2. Now when x equals minus 2, I can go back up here. Remember, I can put that into any of my equations. I'm going to use the original one. I'm going to use that one there. That's just because it's the easiest one to use. 3x, therefore 3x or minus 6 plus y equals minus 3. Adding 6 to both sides, y equals 3. So x equals minus 2 and y equals 3 is the solution to that using the elimination method. Okay, hopefully that helps you with a few of the harder index questions, and also sorting out in your own mind what sort of method you're going to use when you're solving simultaneously. We've obviously got scientific notation, significant figures, compound interest, and we might have a look at some of those questions on Monday. We'll also go through your papers, which you should have gone through yourselves, and we'll clear up any doubts, concerns you've got. I'll see you Monday.